Welcome everyone to the Railroad Retirement Whiteboard. My name is John McNamara with Highball Advisors, and this episode we're going to talk about, should I buy as a railroader an annuity in railroad retirement? So we got this in the mail a couple days ago. It's to my wife. It's an invitation to a steak dinner at Ruth Chris. Complimentary, by the way, free dinner to listen to an advisor talk about retirement income, and at the end of the day, talking about annuities. So, right, annuity, just to give you an outline, annuity is an insurance contract, and you give money to the insurance company. In return, they guarantee you retirement income, right? A stream of income, depending upon how long you can get, 10 years, 20 years, lifetime. But you give them a bunch of money, and they'll guarantee you a stream of income, assuming the insurance company stays in business, which, you know, for the most part, they will. I mean, you know, they've been around a long time. But that's the gist of an annuity, right? So, but as railroaders, you got to be thinking about it a little bit differently. And I'm going to demonstrate how you should be really thinking about it, and just kind of get the brain going a little bit about it. But first, what I want to do is just kind of talk about the annuities first, and then I'll compare them to your Tier 2 Railroad Retirement Annuity, and you'll see the differences here, right? So, so you're engaging with an advisor, and he's talking to you about an annuity, and here's some of the things that you want to be thinking about, right? So you're going to give them a bunch of money, and they're going to guarantee you some income. But you have some liquidity challenges, right, to start with. So you give them the money, and you might need the money for a health reason, or maybe you're looking to buy a vacation home or fix a roof. Well, you can't get the money, right? They have what you call a surrender charge. So that's usually like around 7 years. So up to about 7 years, they're going to charge you. They're going to charge you a fee to get your money back. That's a surrender charge. All right, so you have that. Then you have taxes, right? So it's taxed at ordinary income. There's no long-term capital gains in it, so it's not really a growth investment. It's an income investment, right? So ordinary income. So, you know, compare that to a traditional brokerage account where you can get long-term capital gains. Or how about a Roth IRA, tax-free? How great is that? Tax-free, which no taxes. Then you have returns, right? What's the return that you on your investment in the annuity? So you might have a nice number up there that guarantees a rate of return, but then you got to drill down into that number and look at all the fees associated with that, and I'll bring into that. And then even some annuities, they'll say, okay, well, we're going to look at the rate of return in, let's say, another 5 years out. We can reset that rate. So you have risk on that, the resetting of the rates. So sometimes they're not as guaranteed as you think. So when you talk about fees, right, you know, that's where, you know, insurance companies got to make money, right? So that's where your fees are. So some of the fees you have a mortality and expense fee. You might have a sub-account fee, which means, you know, they invest your money in other funds, and you got to pay for those fees. Then you have a bunch of riders fees. So you might have an income rider. You might have a death benefit rider. You might have an inflation rider. So it's fee, and that all adds up, and that's all going to come out of your performance, right? So you have fees. You have inflation. Right, so it's retirement income, right? So if I want $1,500 a month in retirement income, to give you an example, well, it's 2019. I'm not retiring to 2030. My $1,500 in 2019 isn't going to be $1,500 in 2030. Inflation will have eaten away at that. So I got to go get an inflation rider back to the fees to make sure that I have $1,500 of 2030 spending power. Then you have survivor benefits, right? You have the annuity, you want to make sure that your family, your spouse is taken care of. There's additional fees on top of that to make sure that the annuity is taking care of the people that are most important to you. So that's just kind of the challenges of the annuity. To me, there's significant challenges, but maybe for other people, you know, you're willing to pay the piper and just guarantee the retirement income. But let's look, as now we're railroaders, right? So you have additional railroad retirement income coming in, right? And that's going to act like the annuity. So I want to compare the Tier 2 section of Railroad Retirement versus an annuity, because that's what it is, right? You've been paying 4.9% of your income to fund this annuity, your retirement annuity, and railroads have been paying over 13% into it. So when you look at the liquidity, there's no liquidity in your Tier 2. You can't take a lump sum out, right? So there's no surrender charges on that. You're just always going to have that steady stream of income. Taxes, it's the same taxes. Tier 2 is going to be taxed at ordinary income. All right, so that part's the same, right? First two parts are the same. But now here we go, right? Returns, you're going to know what your return is always going to be on Railroad Retirement, right? It's a formula. Years of service, right? 5 of your highest compensation months times 0.007. So you're always going to know what your return is going to be, which is great for planning your retirement expenses. Fees, there's no fees. There's no this, that. They don't nickel and dime you. Railroad Retirement Board doesn't charge you 3% a year to distribute your Railroad Retirement Annuity. Inflation, they have a little bit of inflation protection, about a third of CPI, Consumer Price Index. So if inflation's at 3%, they'll give you a 1% protection. So you have a little risk there. And then survivor benefits, yeah, obviously, it kicks over into a survivor annuity if something should happen to you. So there's already that coverage. No fee, once again, for that. So the point I'm trying to get to you as railroaders is you have an annuity already. You've been funding it throughout all your years in the railroad to get that stream of retirement income. So between your Tier 1 and Tier 2, those are significant streams of retirement income. Maybe you throw a pension in there for some people. That's another stream of retirement income. And then your 401k and your other assets, right? That's the growth part of your investment portfolio. You can grow that money. So instead of saying, okay, I've got my Tier 1, my Tier 2, and a pension, this is like, shooting a mosquito with an elephant gun, because now you're getting all this retirement income and you're sacrificing growth in your portfolio by purchasing an annuity. So before you take the nice dinner with the beautiful filet mignon and the 700-degree grill with the butter dripping on it, think long and hard about it, because if you do get that annuity, right, you're going to be sacrificing growth, okay, of your other investments, of your 401k, of your taxable accounts. And like I said, you've already been paying into it. So that's my thoughts for today on the subject. Feel free to message me on that. I'm sure maybe some of you annuity salesmen are probably going to message me. But anyway, I hope you found this informational and beneficial to help you kind of make some decisions. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm more than willing to help you plan your retirement portfolios, because this is powerful stuff. In the meantime, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that, getting some good traction on that. And stay safe, stay on track, and take care. So long, everybody. Bye.